KRANTHI Bathini now joining in, Head of Research at WealthMills Securities. Warm welcome, Mr. Bathini, and thank you so much for joining in. Let's get your sense going as far as the current setup in the markets is concerned. Do you think, are we nearing the bottom anywhere when it comes to the kind of sell-off that we have been seeing? I mean, we're in the fifth consecutive year or fifth consecutive month of the kind of sell-off in the Nifty that is concerned. This could be the longest streak of losses if we post another month of loss in the last 28 years. Something which, of course, not just the current set of the new investors, but even the previous set of new investors have not really seen. So it's definitely a challenging period. People are losing the kind of belief that they had in the extreme resilience in the Indian markets as well, and they are not sure as to what is coming in. What is the sense that you are deriving from your wealth of experience that you have been seeing the markets over many years? Are we at the end of the fag end of this bottoming out cycle, sir?
Sakshi, it's a very interesting question you posed to me. But Sakshi, my sense is we are nearing to the bottom. Okay, that's what I can sense at this point of time. But here the question is, the DIS have been shielding the markets till now. Uh, Going ahead, given the kind of fund flow the DIS have been receiving, if they are resilient, yes, definitely we can try to hold on to this level. But the problem, the unprecedented sell-off by the foreign portfolio investors in the month of Jan, in the month of Feb, that has been creating extra pressure on the markets at this point of time. Uh, there was a market saying at this point of time, sell India, buy China. That's a kind of narrative that has been playing right now, that has come back. In fact, when a couple of months back, the same kind of narrative that came in because of the domestic strong liquidity, we could able to sail through. But on a comparative basis, given the kind of measures that Chinese government they have did in the recent past, recent fortnight, to sending a message, a direct message to the world, they are business friendly at this point of time. So that message has been strong, and also the relative valuations of China, and also the opportunity, despite of the hue and cry here and there, that is giving us some sort of interest towards China at this point of time. But on longer term basis, given the kind of predictability of the policy and also policy continuity and business friendly atmosphere of India policy makers are concerned, definitely India is a favorite destination for the investors who are looking forward for long term. Okay, that makes the long only funds to look back to Indian markets at this point of time, Sakshi. So in the medium to short term, this narrative has been playing well at this point of time. And also, Sakshi, I am quite optimistic despite of the tariffs news that has been hampering the market sentiment in the medium to short term. But there will be a point Trump administrations will realize, okay, and they will get into try to get the consensus, and also negotiating with the other countries to get the mutual benefits for everyone. There will be definitely unintended consequences for US administration if they keep on imposing tariffs on every country. That they are going to estimate, and they are also going to change their narrative in the coming weeks, which is going to be a positive for the markets. So if the investor is a long-term investor, for suppose if I want to be in the market for minimum, if I'm bringing the money for more than 1 year, definitely these challenges are definitely short-lived. There will be a rebound in the market. So one can keep this as the first price point to accumulate the stocks. But here, the issue here, Sakshi, one need to keep in mind, quality should be the template.
Yeah.
The markets are going to be very selective. It's not like what we witnessed in the past 2 years, whatever investors are buying, they keep on giving returns to them. But going ahead, the valuations and the quality should be the case for the investors going ahead. So try to pick up the quality ones, nothing to worry. If the investor is having a time horizon more than 1 year, I believe this is the right time to start picking the stocks.
Right time to start picking the stocks, and the prices are giving you that opportunity at this point in time. Mr. Bathini, also wanted to get a sense on the overall valuations. That was a big talk point on the Indian markets, that they have run ahead of fundamentals. Earnings are not supporting the kind of valuations that we were trading at, especially when it came to the mid and the small cap space. The valuation talk point was further up and ahead. After the recent correction that has come in, I mean, we are down 12% as far as the benchmark is concerned. We are down about 17 odd percent as far as the mid and the small caps are concerned. Are you looking at these, valuations as more comforting at this point in time, or do you still feel that still they are on a higher side, and therefore the premium that we expect or the upside that we expect could be capped?
Sakshi, see, we need to define in such a way, okay? We need to get into stock specific at this point of time. We
Right.
can't paint every stock as a high value zone or something, okay? It should be stock specific and sector specific at this point of time. Of course, definitely, as you mentioned, there are some pockets. Definitely, there is a fraud, no question at all. But it should not be paid. There are some small and mid cap companies which have a strong order book and also strong earning visibility, and also the quality of management is good. They can convert every challenges into opportunities. Those kind of companies, they got corrected from its peak of around 30 to 40%. It gives a good opportunity. There are some companies, okay, even though despite of they corrected from its peak 30 to 40%, they have risen from 200%, 300% from its peaks. Still, there is a fraud. Okay, we are talking about one way a stock got corrected from 100 to 60 rupees, 40% correction. But we also need to think this same stock, it has risen from 5 rupees to 100 rupees, and currently it is still at 60 rupees. Okay, those are the pockets where the overvaluation froth is still there.
Got that. Now, Mr. Bathini, since you're saying that this is a market which needs to be very, very selective approach needs to be there in terms of sectors and stocks, any top 2 or 3 sectors that you believe there is valuation comfort, there are initial signs of a recovery happening, where the recovery could first start when the market sentiment turns for the better? Which are the key sectors that you believe where things could turn for the better, sir, now?
Sakshi, despite of the fair valuations or some sort of a pricey valuations, still healthcare looks good to me. Healthcare, the hospital chains and all. There are some pockets
Okay.
of correction we do witnessed, but they are more insulated at this point of time, and there is a greater emphasis is given in this budget also, in the budget speech also. There will be a lot of emphasis towards the healthcare tourism, and also the healthcare industry is concerned. Still, it's look vibrant. And what we are witnessing in healthcare is there is a complete uh, there is a the fragmentation is now getting into completely organized at this point of time. So that gives the benefit for the listed players over a period of time, because healthcare is one of the highly fragmented industry, except a few major players who have some sort of market share. But going ahead, what we can sense at this point of time is these listed players can gain the market share over a period of time. So these are the stocks not bothered about what Trump administration is doing and how the things are taking place by and large. And healthcare is a stable industry and it's growing industry. Healthcare names like Aster DM, Apollo, and the other listed ones looks very attractive on a selective basis, Sakshi. And the
Okay.
other sector is infra. The stocks have witnessed a healthy correction. So investors with long-term horizon, one can look at infra in their portfolio names like L&Ts of the world at this point of time, or newly listed companies like Afcon, which have a strong pedigree and also strong track record in terms of the executing the projects, looks attractive to me.
Fair point. Okay, so those are the key spaces that one could definitely look at. Is there any space which is still in the avoid category, Mr. Bathini, where you believe the valuations still do not justify and there could be some more pain that needs to be taken out and where investors need to be a little more cautious? Do you think, are there any pockets like that?
In terms of the chemicals, I try to avoid it still at this point of time. Still, despite of the valuation comfort what we are getting, but still I try to avoid in the medium to short term.
Yeah.
But by and large, right now I'm focusing on very stock specific, Sakshi. So okay, we can get into very micro level and top down approach has to be maintained while selecting the stocks at this point of time.
Fair point. Okay. Then let's look at some of the other pockets. PSU space I wanted to discuss with you, Mr. Patini. Now, defense, railways, or power related spaces, these were the spaces which were erstwhile favorites. We have seen a meaningful correction in all three pockets. Where do you think investors can now afresh look at PSU stocks, and where do they need to continue to stay away from?
Sakshi, the PSU space, okay, it has become a very wider universe at this point
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah.
We have the defense, and we have the railways, we have the PSU banks, and we have the other PSU CP stocks. It's a very wider universe actually. In terms of the stock picking is concerned, I still like names in the defense, okay, despite of the view of the high valuations people tend to say. But I still believe, given the kind of order book size and also every defense companies, names like Garden Reach and Mazgan Dockyard,
Yeah.
Hindustan Aeronautics, or BEL, these companies' order books are quite strong and they have the strong execution capabilities to execute the orders, which in turn increases the revenue. So I still have a valuation comfort in these names. So any dip in the stock, I would like to accumulate these stocks for a medium to long term basis in terms of the defense space is concerned. With respect to the railway space is concerned, still the valuations are right now entering into a valuation zone. Valuations are entering into an attractive zone. If there is some more correction, that the time one can, the margin of safety will go up in these railway names. If the investor is a long-term investor, definitely one can look the railway stocks. With respect to the PSU banks are concerned, I will be weighing on very stock specific, and also the risk reward in PSU banks is in favor. But I am not in a hurry to go and buy PSU banks at this point of time. I'll be very selective in terms of the picking up order of PSU banks are concerned. So PSU have a wider meaning at this point of time. But if you ask me what looks very attractive in terms of the PSU university is concerned, the first order definitely is going to be defense.
Okay. Let's look at a few stocks which are actually buzzing pretty strongly in trade today. The Nifty Next 50 names have interesting names. Zomato is up by 2.5%. You have Geo Financial Services that are up by 1.2%. Remember, both these stocks have a trigger of inclusion on the Nifty as far as March 25th is concerned. Then you also have stocks like Info Edge that's buzzing. Adani Group stocks are actually buzzing today. Adani Power is up 4.5%. Adani Energy Solutions about 2% higher. Adani Green Energy is also up. Ambuja Cements is also higher in trade. So the Adani Group stocks are actually picking up pace. You have several other stocks that are also buzzing. But you have TVS Motor, you have Power Finance Corporation, Dabur is up, Macrotech Developers. Many of these stocks are actually finally coming back into action. And you can see 22,600 is back on the Nifty. So there is some improvement in sentiment across the board too. Anything that you would like to suggest on Zomato and Geo Financial Services, Mr. Bathini? How would you look at these two pockets? Remember, again, there is this view that since Zomato and Geo Finance still trade at higher valuations, they would further make Nifty look heavier at this point in time, something which might again keep the FIIs at bay. But for the stock-specific spaces, Zomato and Geo Finance, how do you see them?
Both Sakshi, Zomato is concerned, it's by and large the futuristic business model, and the Nifty have a comfort. despite of Zomato posting last 4 quarter results as losses, but we have the comfort to, given the kind of futuristic business models in terms of the volumes are concerned, market cap is concerned, they got the opportunity to get into the top 50. But these are all, both are futuristic business models. So the Zomato, which is become a household name at this point of time, there is an ample opportunity to get into the the tier 2 cities of the world in terms of the food delivery or the quick commerce business is concerned. So there is an ample opportunities. Of course, if any technology-led, technology-driven, disruptive tools that comes up with the pricing, that's what we are witnessing. Zomato, the stock had a stellar listing. It corrected up to 60 levels, touched the level of 300, now at 227 level. So investors with high risk appetite, definitely they're going to look at a company like Zomato, even though foreign portfolio investors also, definitely they're going to look at names like Zomato. It's a welcoming move, including them in terms of the Nifty is concerned. As per the Geo Financial Services is concerned, they're still, the company is at a budding stage. They're entering into stockbroking and also the asset management business is concerned with a strong pedigree. How they are going to make the things in the coming few quarters, that's going to determine the Geo Financial's futures. But these are both are strong futuristic business models, Sakshi.
Absolutely, got that. Let's look at some of the other pockets that are buzzing. You know, NBFC space is actually showing us some strong moves today. Credit Access Grameen is up 5.5%, 361 WAM, 3% higher. Remember, there's a brokerage house update and a higher target on this one. SBFC Finance, IIFL, Bajaj FinServe, you have Poonawalla FinCorp, then also Nuvama Wealth, Geojit, 5-Star Business Finance. Both the AMCs, broking spaces, they're actually, and the NBFCs at large are looking up at this point in time. Any suggestion here, Mr. Bathini? Any key stocks that you like within this entire basket?
In terms of the NBFCs are concerned, the valuations looks very attractive. They have not done anything well in the recent past or in the past 1 year. So I just will be in a wait and watch mode, given the kind of market sentiment is concerned. I'm not in a hurry to back these NBFCs stocks.
Okay. Okay.
So I try to avoid in the medium to short term at this point of time. At some point of time, we are looking NBFCs, but we are not in a hurry to jump and buy these stocks at this point of time, Sakshi. Sakshi,
right.
just to make a point for the investors, nuclear power is one of the new emerging theme that is emerging in
Okay.
India. It is at a still very nascent stage. Given the kind of the GDP and also the power demand that's going to emerge, the government also making the changes in the nuclear power civil law is concerned. So it throws ample opportunities for the investors going ahead. We have witnessed in the green and solar energy how the momentum was built up in the recent past. But next big theme of energy is going to be the nuclear energy theme. Very few players are in this theme, but it throws ample opportunities for the new other companies to get into this kind of theme. So when we discussed 7-8 years back or 10 years back, defense as a theme, it was not, it was at a very nascent stage. The same kind of theme, the nuclear energy at this point of time. So investors can keep in their watch list the companies which are involving or getting into nuclear power and energy. That's going to play a big theme for the investors. It is at a very nascent stage, so investors can keep this theme on their radar.
Hey, fair point. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Bathini, for being with us on the show today and helping us navigate through various pockets of, opportunities in this current setup in the market. So what's also good is that despite being a truncated week, we are seeing some ticks higher on the Nifty yet again. 22,600 is back with us. So probably seems like the bulls are not yet willing to just let go. And that's a bit of a positive. Across the board, there is some buying emerging on autos, consumer durables, financial services, even the broader markets, mid and small caps, oil and gas, pharma, FMCG. These are the pockets that are holding up. and the India VIX is down, thankfully so, in trade today, 14.